So we're still 1 clue out of our 6.
I don't think I'm going to be finding any clues for a little while now.
Look at your special ability.
I might be finding clues sooner than I think.
Yep. Go on then. It is your turn, and you have 2 things to worry about. A flesh eater who is looking a bit worse for wear.
I would like to attack the flesh eater, please.
Very well. It is 2. You're going to commit anything to it, or are you just going to bash it? You're just going to hit it with your hands.
I don't know if I've got anything to... I could commit a beat cop. I'll commit the beat cop to it.
Are you sure? I would... Just bear in mind that if you actually get to play the beat cop as an asset, it gives you permanent +1 while it's in play. So rather
That's not a bad thing, actually, is it? I should keep... Can I play the beat cop?
If you put the beat cop down, try to play the beat cop, you'll get attacked by both enemies.
I'll get attacked by everything.
Yep.
I'm just going to punch the thing in the face.
You can punch the thing in the face. Also, I invite you to look at your cards, especially the one called Evidence.
I do remember that one being quite useful at this point. Let me double check and see if it... what else it does. Yes.
So, do you want to punch the thing first?
I wish to punch the thing first.
So 4 plays 2. This is for the flesh eater, isn't it?
This is for the flesh eater. I'm rolling the dice and I get a 12.
12 is -1 on 3v2. So the flesh eater is looking very shaky, but is still on his feet.
I would like to punch him in the face again, please.
You may punch him in the face again.
I've this time rolled a 7.
-3. -3 for the 7, I'm afraid. So you fail that one, but nothing. He doesn't retaliate on you, does he? He doesn't retaliate on you. So you have a final action to play.
I will attempt to punch him in the face again.
Very well.
This time I rolled a 5.
Which is a skull, which, if I remember rightly, is -1 for each in play. Skull is minus number of ghoul enemies at your location, which is -1.
So I still beat him.
You still beat him. He die.
I would like to play Evidence.
Before we play Evidence, let's resolve your ability. After you defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at your location. Limits once per round. So your Roland discovers a clue anyway.
And then I will play Evidence, which has Fast. Play after you defeat an enemy. Discover 1 clue at your location.
Play after you defeat an enemy. Discover 1 clue at your location. Yes, very well. So 2. And that guy goes away. So you've still got the rats on you.
I've still got the rats on me and I can do nothing about it because I've used up all my actions. But I've got 2 clues, so I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now.
That is a very good outcome. I don't think we could have asked for a better outcome in those circumstances. I'm looking at what the guys do. We really could not have asked for a better outcome in those circumstances. Put that over there. So, enemy phase. The rats attack you for 1 damage.
Ow.
So you're now down to 8 damage, but Rodent is a tough guy, he can take it. Upkeep phase, so we both draw cards. You draw a flashlight.
Another one?
Another flashlight.
How many of those do I have up here?
You just found 2 flashlights, and you get your resource. I draw emergency cash, which gets me 3 resources when I play it, and it's basically 0 assets, so I get 3 free resources for 1 action.
That's nice.
That's very good, and I get 1 resource. So nothing else on the board. That guy's dealt with, and new mythos phase. Oh, the 3rd doom has hit the agenda phase.
Yes, it has.
So we can clear this. Your house continues to change before your eyes. The walls have decayed, and and the ground in many rooms has turned to dirt. It is almost as if you've been transported somewhere else entirely, although every now and again you recognise elements of your former home.
I'm really going to fire the architect.
And there is an effect.
Okay.
The lead investigator must decide. Either each investigator discards one card at random from his or her hand, or the lead investigator takes 2 horror.
I'm gonna say we get rid of some cards here, buddy.
Okay, so for you, would you like to roll a d4 and discard that card? And tell me what card it is.
I will do that thing.
Thank you very much.
I rolled a 2, so I've lost my medical text.
One moment, please. So your medical text has gone bye-bye.
Yep.
And I am going to roll a 1d5. So my knife is gone. And now we get to switch.
So my
this.
research librarian.
Yes.
Can I get him to find another tome?
Only when he enters play, I believe the text is on that one. Let me just verify that he's still alive and in play. Yeah, after Research Librarian enters play. There have been problems at the Orne Library. As you both know, given poor Armitage's condition and the other unrelated events of a few years ago. What he does have is 1 damage and 1 horror, so if something does damage you, can redirect it to him.
Right.
Meanwhile, Rise of the Ghouls. The floor beneath you is giving way, and you see a vast network of tunnels twisting into the darkness below.
I'm in the attic!
Shapes and silhouettes of strange creatures move swiftly through the tunnels trying to find a way in. You probably don't want to be here when they do. And
I'm in the attic!
This agenda requires 7 Doom to advance, so basically we get 7 turns.
Nice.
And time for encounter phase. Would you like to draw first, or shall I draw first?
I'll draw first this time.
You get a ghoul minion.
You can draw first this time.
So this thing is really, 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 really nasty. So, yeah, it's basically the same as what I had to deal with. 2 attack, 2 wounds, 2 damage. And I shall draw. I get Frozen in Fear. Put Frozen in Fear into my threat area. The first time I perform one of the following actions, move, fight or evade, each round it costs 1 additional action. So that means until I get rid of that, I can't move, if I want to move, if I want to fight or I want to evade, it costs me 2 actions instead of 1.
Lovely.
So that's the end of the Mythos phase. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first, because I'm going to have a very simple turn.
Yes, you are.
I wish to punch things, please.
What do you wish to punch?
So what damage do I need to get on the rats?
Rats are worth 1 damage, ghouls are worth 2 damage.
So I'm going to attack the ghoul.
Okay. Have you got anything you can add to this?
The flashlights don't, do they?
No.
Didn't think so. No, I don't.
Okay, so is this going to be punch, punch, punch for your 3 actions?
Basically, unless anything changes.
Okay, go on it.
So punch number 1.
To whom?
The ghoul.
12, I'm sure that's
12.
It. -1.
So that's a 3 for me.
Versus his 2.
So that's a hit.
That's a hit. He is taking 1 damage.
Roll number 2. It's a 7.
7 is -3.
That's the 1 for me.
That's not going to work very well. And your 3rd action?
My 3rd punch is a 5.
5, that's really not good. No, that's -1 for each ghoul enemy at your location, because that's a skull.
That's a 1, so that's 3 for me and a 2 for him.
So, Ghoul minion dies.
I gain a clue.
You get a clue. You're doing well at clues. You're doing better than me.
Yeah, and I'm just punching things.
And you're finding clues by punching things. So
hey, I just realised something. I just had this revelation while I was beating this guy to death with my bare hands.
And that is your turn finished, I believe.
That is, unfortunately.
That is, yes. Okay. By the way, just so we know, the shroud value of this location is 1, so you're doing more work than you really need to get these clues.
Well, yeah, but these enemies keep coming after me, so,
this is true. My turn. What have I got useful here?
Really, you want to be up here researching things, and I want to be down there punching them.
Yes, and I still can't do anything with this. That's really not good. I'm going to draw a card.
I mean, you could very slowly make your way up here because you're frozen in fear.
Right. I draw a flashlight.
I just have so many of those lying around.
You do! That was the last one. So that's 3. I'm going to have to set myself up for the next round, I think. So
I thought you were just about to say I'm going to set myself on fire for some reason.
I'm going to play my emergency cash to get 3 extra supplies, because I'm really low on supplies. I don't know why. Wendy normally gets a load of supplies, actually more supplies than she knows what to do with. And I'm going to play my flashlight, put my flashlight into play.
Okay.
And that is sadly my entire turn. It's not the card I want. I'm not getting the card I want.
Okay. So it's the enemy phase.
Yep, just let me put my flashlight down. So I can't, I've got to... I'm going to discard my bats for that one, I think. Because a bat's a two-handed weapon, and I've got my flashlight, so...
Okay.
My baseball bats did absolutely nothing. And I am down to... How many resources was that? 2 resources, so... 2 resources. And now it is the enemy phase, and you get hit for another damage. Now you can either put it to yourself or put it to your research librarian.
I'm going to throw the librarian in the way of that damage.
Okay, librarian goes...
Sorry buddy, you got me a book!
Yep. And nobody else does anything. Oh, so... okay, so... Upkeep phase, we... refresh our stuff. I didn't actually turn mine over, but that's okay. We each draw a card. I have... You have a guard dog, sorry.
Ah, that sounds like it might be helpful. Let me look it up.
And 6 resources, because you didn't actually spend any resources in that turn. I get survival instinct. All for evasion. Okay, that's good. That's every other enemy. Okay, and I get... Do you like the look of guard dog?
Guard dog seems helpful.
Good. Oh, and at the end of the turn, I need to test my willpower against this frozen in fear. So, nothing to play for it really. No, I don't want to play anything for it. So I am at.
Come on, Jeff.
4.
Nothing to fear but fear itself.
And it's a 3 we said, wasn't it? We've got cards all over the place. 3, yes. Right, so rolling. 15! That's a win. Bye bye Frozen in Fear.
Yay!
You can go down there, you can go down there. And that is the end of our turn, Mythos phase. First Doom going on the agenda. Usual question, would you like to draw first or second?
I'm going to flip for it. Heads, I'll draw first. Tails, you draw first.
Very well.
Heads, I draw first. I got my Fable 3 coin of decision here.
Obscuring fog is not an enemy.
Yay!
And I'm rather glad this came to you and not to me, if I'm perfectly honest.
Ooh.
Because it is a hazard
Right.
Attached to your location, limits 1 per location. Attached location gets +2 shroud.
Okay, so that's not too bad for us.
So that's
here.
now gone up to 3. So that's not too bad. That could have been a lot worse.
We can deal with that.
And I can get rid of
It's
my
just foggy in my
frozen
attic for some
fear,
reason.
And I get rotting remains. Test willpower 3. For each point you fail by, take 1 horror. So I'm going to test for that. 16, 11, which gives me -1. So that's a win. Nothing happens there. That was a very nice Mythos round.
I found some fog. You found a dead body that happens to be down in the basement.
The text for this is: a sickening display of gore causes you to retch. You're glad this wasn't you. I'd be glad it wasn't.
Hopefully it wasn't you.
Yep.
Hopefully it wasn't my research librarian.
I think it was. Yeah, your research librarian somehow found his way to the cellar. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay, usual drill.
Can I set up my beat cop?
No, the rat will attack you if you set up your beat cop. It will deal 1 damage to you, but you can take it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take the
damage.
1 damage. I'll set my beat cop up as my friend. So that gives me a +1 to the attack. So what does that squiggly line mean?
That means that it's basically a free action.
Right.
You can play it anytime, even during my turn or even during the enemy's turn. You can play it.
Cool.
So, beat cop. What would you like to do?
Then
What would you like to do?
me and PC Steve are gonna beat up the rats.
Very well. That's +5 to against 1.
Let's see if we can do it, Steve. I rolled a 8.
That's -2.
We still do it, Steve.
That's enemy has been defeated. Would you like to trigger your power?
I would, Steve. I mean, Jeff, but also Steve is here.
So that is 4 clues for Roland. So we have to both be in the hallway to be able to trigger these clues, and I've still got to get 1 clue out of my place.
Get a clue.
I've still got to get 1 clue out of my location.
So for my next action, can I just draw a card?
You can draw a card, or you can move back to the hall. That's an option.
I mean, I could move back to the hall and then draw a card there, right? No, because I used
That's your third
card.
action. Yep. Your pickup was your first action.
Yeah, I'll move back to the hall to be
Move
prepared
back
in
to the
case you
hall.
do find the clue this turn.
Very well.
And then also, presumably, you might move to the hallway.
Yes, that seems like a good idea. So, my turn. I'm going to use my flashlight, of which I have 3 attempts. So, my first attempt reduces it by 2, so it's now my 3 versus this guy's 2.
Good start.
Come on. 7, which is -3. That's not enough. I'm going to repeat that same action, so use the flashlight again to investigate. Come on. 5, which is a skull, which means I win because there are no ghouls at my location.
No ghouls.
I get a clue.
Yay!
So
Now come up to the hallway.
I will just do this. 2 clues. For my third action, I shall move to the hallway.
And then we can make the clues.
We can commit the clues, yes. Do you wish to commit the clues and advance the act?
I think that's a sensible thing to do right now.
Very well. So that's my third action. Okay, so I'm now out of actions. Okay, let me just...
I mean, is there any sensible reason to do it at the start of a turn rather than at the end of this one?
You're the lead investigator.
You know the game bit better than me. Is there any reason to hold off on doing it for now?
Do you want my honest opinion?
Honest opinion.
Yes.
Okay, let's hold off until the start of our next turn.
Right. I didn't want to do that, but you did ask me, so yes, I think we should hold off until the next turn. So, no enemies in play for a change.
Yeah,
Upkeep.
I punched them all to death.
You punched them all to death and found us a load of clues for it. Upkeep.
I mean, Steve helped.
Steve did help, and Steve is going to be very useful. I've got 1 on that. That's not good. So we draw our cards. You draw Old Book of Law. I've never actually
Old Book of. I'm assuming LORE.
Yes. And while you're doing that, I shall put the resource in. You are now stacked with resources. I get... no. A fog descends over my brain and I think to myself, wait, where am I? What was I doing? Amnesia. Choose and discard all but 1 card from your hand. So I choose 1 card and bin the rest.